take a peek inside the Video Game History Museum, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, as soon as you come in, you actually can see, as you can see right there, a Vectrex original handmade prototype. Just going to give you a little bit more of exactly how it was done. Show you the back. Of course, over here, the ever so super rare Vectrex color system, which was just also a prototype. I'll show you some of the swag right here. See some schematics. See, this I would love to have in my house, a minicade. Basically, someone just did a semi-weird little mod to this. You got some more peripherals, like news articles, manuals, cards, all that good stuff. Got a 3D imager over there. This is one of the this is the French-Canadian Vectrex display right here. And over here you got some of the the carrying cases. And of course, besides for the CGEs, these are some of the Milton Bradley carrying cases right here. Of course, over here we have the American Vectrex gaming kiosk. And it came from some of the stores. This is what you would see right here. This is the Bandai Vectrex box right over here. And just to show you a little better view of that right there. Some of the Japanese titles, actually. Harmageddon. Scramble Wars, which is basically Scramble. Cosmic Chasm, Solar Quest. As you can see right there, that's some of the artwork right there and some of the information for that. And you got some of the, some of the peripherals right here. There's like a homemade controller made for Genesis. And even one made for the PS2, just to show you that it was no fluke. So you plug this in basically right over here. So this is something really cool I just noticed here. This is a complete Yazi homebrew. I can't say overlay. You stick this on your Vectrex and you can make it look like the Space Invaders cabinet. And this is basically what it would look like right here. This would be the finished product. There's like another kooky little Vectrex display right here. And this is the one here for Scramble. So if you know exactly what the arcade cabinet looks like, there you go. Got one here for Protector. And this is Time Pilot, but of course this would be Vector Pilot. Some of the homebrew section right over here. I'll show you a little bit more of that. Got a couple of arcade sticks right here. And these are some of the homebrews that I was talking about, like Spike Spree, Vecsports Boxing, Berserker, Patriots, and Vectorama. I remember, I actually had this for a little while. I actually gave this to Gamester81 and Debris, so you can pretty much tell that this itself is a Asteroids clone, but I could be wrong about that. And yeah, just like tons of really obscure, scarce homebrews here. And even the 2-in-1 dip switcher, if I noticed right here, for Berserk and Scramble. And there's Color Clash. There's like, you see right here, a professionally hands-on 4-fitted dust cover for the Vectrex. And this is the Color Clash overlay right there. See right here, you got the Atari 800 kiosk, as you can see right there. Just to show you. You got a Pitfall 2 Lost Caverns poster right here. Mega Mania, Pitfall, Atari US Olympic volleyball program banner. We'll show you more. You got some of the Mountain Dew Xbox system, which is actually pretty rare. You see right here, this is something really cool actually. In a Metal Gear Bolt Assassin's case. But if you look at the gun con, it's actually gold plated. It's very cool. So just walking through it here. There's a cool little thing right here, the Dream Eye. So you think you saw the iToy was the first thing to come out? Nope. And there's the DreamEye right there. Okay, and this is the Katana development system, which was a dev kit for the Dreamcast. So you see right over here. Of course, you got some of the Nintendo 64, and this is the special edition controllers over here. You can see the Millennium 2000, Donkey Kong 64, and a Nintendo Power 100. And of course, these are some of the more, you know, this is, to this day, is the most expensive console today, which retails for $700, and that is the Panasonic 3DO. And you got the Atari Jaguar over there, and this is the Pioneer Laser Active games. Of course, this is really cool because if you look down here, not only you could actually play Genesis carts, but Sega CD games too. As you can see right there. Of course, you got the ever so hated and loved Virtual Boy, and these are some of the Japanese titles, as you can see right here. And you got the Sega Saturn, Sega Neptune, which this was a prototype. This is supposed to be, I believe it says it right there, you know, it's supposed to be the consoleized version of the 32X, but of course it came out to be that. And you got the CDX over there. Of course, one of my favorite handheld systems right over here, and without a doubt, is the Atari Lynx. Of course, you got the first version right here, and then the second version. Of course, this was the Lynx, his and hers. So you see right there, you got the pink and the gray, and of course, this is a very rare, you know, one that Marlboro actually did. And of course, this is the model I have myself right over here. Of course, you got some of the drives, like disk drive systems for, you know, depending on, you know, for the Super Nintendo, or you could, you know, copy the games over onto a floppy disk, and you know, you can play them later. And you got the Super Nintendo World Class Service Tester. And as we move along over here, everybody, you can see some of the more stuff. You got the NEC TurboGrafx, Sharp Twin Famicom, and the Famicom Disk System right over here. You can see there is, well, this is actually not a game, but it's a little flap right over here. And there it is, complete in box right over there. And the ever so loved Power Gloves. Of course, over here, this is what I had when I was a kid back in the day, and I actually did have this when I first bought my NES. And one here is actually the Master System kiosk, which I've honestly never seen this ever in person, let alone heard about. And of course, over there you do have the Famicom, Sega Master System. And as we're continuing on, show you some more of the artwork that they did back then for Activision. This is, you know, more of the computer section over here. You got some Atari stuff, Commodore Amiga 1200, the Atari 7800 clear case, which very, very unique in itself. Of course, you have the peripheral keyboard, which is really never used, because I never really heard that much about it myself. Of course, over here you have the Commodore 64C 128 and the 1541 and 1571 disk drives. And of course, you got the original Breadbox edition right here, which is autographed. And of course, over here, a lot of you don't know actually. This is, yeah, of course, an Atari 7800, but this has a specific control for the PAL region, which is almost modeled after a NES pad. Over here, you got the Atari XC video game system, the Atari 65 XEP portable, and from looking at it, ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't look as portable as you would think, but that's what it was back in the day. I mean, just the fact that this was a heavy little sucker within itself. And some of David Crane's work right here, some of his top sellers. Of course, you have more Atari peripherals, you know, tape drives. The 1090 XL expansion system. Got some more boards over here. Over here you have the Atari 600 XL with the infamous left cartridge, but you can see right there that is the Atari graphics cart. It's a 1200 XLS. And you got the dual Atari 815 disc drives. Of course, here you got the SpectraVision, which of course, if you notice, what does that remind you of? The Atari 5100 system, which was, of course, supposed to be the 5200 Junior. And yeah, I don't understand if anybody wanted to actually use this and take this home with them, but it seems fairly, very legit, if you ask me. And this, of course, here is actually the 2600 adapted for the 5200. And of course, you had your interface right here. Of course, you know, those controllers, super faulty, but you know, if cared for right, they actually are pretty playable. But of course, you can always use a Wyco controller for that. And of course, over here, everybody, you have the Arcadia 2001, which was actually a very underrated console. Just the fact that it actually had very good controls. It was modeled, you know, in between a Intellivision and a ColecoVision, where you can see how the controllers are. And over here, everybody, this is a Telegames Personal Arcade. Basically, this is supposed to be like a compatible ColecoVision, believe it or not. Also playing, I believe, can't think of which certain system, but it was basically a 2-in-1, which was actually really cool. And over here, people, and I have to step back because it's this freaking big. You got the ColecoVision Family Computer Module, also known as the Atom. Yeah, I mean, this is a, you know, you really got to see, it is a very big box. So over here, so you have more ColecoVision, you know, peripherals. The infamous Wyco command controller for the 5200, which is actually, you know, way better than, of course, what the Atari had back then. Of course, you got a sealed roller controller. And over here you have the Aquarius, Mattel Aquarius computer system. Of course, you gotta step back. These are the Intellivision keyboards, and these are pretty freaking rare, to say the least. Of course, I guess this one right here, someone didn't take as good of care as they should have. And of course, over here, this is actually the system changer. What a lot of people don't know, this is also, I believe, you know, it's basically a cart switcher, but you know, it's really cool how you could also, you know, play 2600 games on your Intellivision. So, but it wasn't really talked about as much compared to the ColecoVision expansion module, as you see over here, where it did play, you know, Atari 2600 games. But you know, this did as well. Of course, you have way more stuff here. You got the ECS, the Intellivision keyboard, right over here. You got some real rare stuff over here. You know, these were basically the cassettes for this Intellivision computer right here. Basically, you know, all you had to do is put your Intellivision in here, and you could play it. From what I remember, this one actually, I remember, I think the last CGE, they wanted to sell this, and actually it sold to the bug, so it never really sold. So I'm going to show you some more Intellivision. This is the computer module in box. To show you more, this is the Gamekeeper. If you look, you know, they would try to market this stuff off, you know, as best they could, even though you could use a cartridge, a tape deck, or a cassette tape holder for that. And this is a video plexer. This is the actual cart switcher itself, and it could actually do up to 8 carts for your Intellivision. But if you look at it, you know, if you just plugged it in to your, you know, Intellivision, you can see it looks pretty okay there. But when you add the IntelliVoice and all that, that's just like very bulky and cumbersome. But I also wanted to show you the different systems they had here, because of course, you know, it wasn't just Intellivision. Tanny was licensed out to it, also Sears. So you can see right there, this is a Super Pro system, but this is one in Japan. You got the Intellivision 3 System 3 here. that Super Video Arcade that Sears Telegames in, and it actually looks, you know, the way it was modeled looked way better. And of course, there's a Tandy Vision 1, and of course the original Intellivision with some of the advertisements right here. Of course, you get some more Intellivision swag over here. And even Sylvania actually got into the market when this came out too. You can see where it's branded right there, and also by GTE. And over here, of course, you have not one, but two different versions of the Bally Astrocade, or Astrovision, or whichever you want to call it. Because over here, you have an Odyssey 2. Of course, over here, people, this was a development station, which I've honestly have never seen this before. Very old school. Of course, you got your dip switches right there. A very nice neon Atari sign. Some more cool stuff over here. And this is the one thing I really did notice as soon as I saw this. And the Magic Previewer. So basically, you could just put about 20 or so carts in here, press the button you wanted, or just want to see A, B, and C. And yeah, I mean, this was something, you know, really nice to have, especially if you were like a hardcore collector. And this is something I personally do have, actually, the video game brain, but I don't have the box for it. And this is the Videoplexer for the Atari 2600. And for the Spectra Video fans out there, you can see right here, there's one here. Very basic 16K, but you can actually also, you know, plug this into your Atari 2600, as you can see right there. So yeah, just more controllers, more wacky stuff over here. Of course, even like I said, when Atari was having their stuff branded out, even Columbia, you know, Columbia House, actually had their own branded arcade. You know, very bare bones, nothing too crazy. You know, and of course, even this one here, I believe, I can't remember exactly which country put this out, but this is from overseas, and had their own specific controllers. But if you look here, this is also made for the Gemini as well, as you can see right here. And this is the Vader. Of course, the infamous Star Path Supercharger, and that's a really, really cool thing here. Okay, and this is one I think I've never seen before. Well, actually, I would say I haven't the last time he was here. This is a Key Games VCS. Of course, here you had one of the not really talked about systems here, and that is the RCA Studio 2 system. And yeah, the APF MP1000. This is yet a very rare console. Not too many games were made for it, but it was definitely very innovative at the time. As you see, some more prototype like Brain Pong carts. Of course, you have the Atari Video Music. So basically, you actually make music to a certain extent, you know, from this one little box itself. And of course, you know, Nintendo themselves actually did also get into the Pong business, believe it or not. And this came out in 1979 and it was, I believe, called Block Breaker. And of course, it's like all like the different variants of Pong clones, and Telematch, and Speedway Telegames. And actually, of course, this is like, you know, more for like racing kind of a deal. But this right here is really cool. This is a Telegames Sports Center 4, or I believe 5 or 6 or whatever. But basically, this was basically Stunt Cycle in a nutshell. And I know I have this one at home here, and that is the Video Pinball Model C380. And this is where we're getting really, really nostalgic right here, people. This is, you know, I'm gonna have to take a step back just to show you all what you see right here basically was the first home video console, and that is a Magnavox Odyssey. And you know, at the time too, you know, these games, of course, you know, you think why the box is so big, but this is mostly just, I don't know how big for the overlay. The carts were very small, as you can see right over here. These were what the carts basically looked like. You know, they were numbered, not necessarily had any artwork or names or anything like that. But this right here also is very, very rare with the shooting gallery peripheral for the gun. I mean, looking at it, does look pretty much like a real gun. And of course, this is how it actually did come out. No fancy artwork like this, but sometimes you would get it like this too. And this is the controllers themselves. Just to pan in and give you a little bit of a better look. But this is, of course, a brown box prototype. This is what started it all off. And of course, it's signed by Mr. Ralph Baer himself. And of course, coming up over here, ladies and gentlemen, you have Dr. Pong and Puppy Pong. As we're continuing on here, everybody, I just want to show you some of the t-shirts actually back in the day that were put out by Atari, a lot of the video game makers here. And you can tell this definitely has shown its age, very old, definitely from the 70s. But you got like Stargate, Marble Madness, Liberator, Night Stalker from the television, Cyberball 720, Rampart, Zybos. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. And even a TurboGrafx 16 jacket, as you can see right here. And I do actually remember these when I was a kid with the puffy stickers. That was a big thing in the early 80s. And there's some more of those puffy stickers that I was talking about. They even had some for Zaxxon too. Again, some of the little game watches here. There's actually one for Star Fox, which I've honestly never seen before. That's really cool. You got one here for Pac-Man. So you got some of the peripherals here, like little books on how to win at E.T. the video game, how to win at Zaxxon, Pac-Man, so on and so forth. And of course, you got some of the more of the swag of the puffy stickers. And even Qbert actually had his own little figurines too, back in the day. Got some engineering notebooks over here. Show you some more of the artwork over here. See some of the past awards that were given out back in the day at CES. As you can see here, this is an actual, the original sheets for the artwork for Asteroids. And some of the board games here too, and I do remember these quite a bit. Even Tron had its own board game. Donkey Kong, Pac-Man, Jungle Hunt, Miss Pac-Man, and even Defender, Berserk, Zaxxon, Centipede, Dragon Slayer, Qbert. Yeah, and believe it or not, even puzzles like, with Pitfall, Cloak and Dagger, which I do is more of a, I think say an RPG for a board game. Got some cool little Activision mouse pads here with a Freeway and Grand Prix. There's like more some Activision swag right here. The Activision Pitfall Harry jacket and helmet from Chicago, 1982. So as we continue on here, everybody, just going over one of the next tables over here. Just show you tons and tons of Vectrex prototypes and some homebrews right here. There's even a Berserk 2, as you can see right there. A Star Trek 2 Revision 2.1. And some Atari 7800 prototypes, actually. Some of the EEPROMs. I'll show you right there. And something that I've honestly never seen here coming up, actually, was Parker Brothers unreleased game boxes, which you can see right here. You see the two versions of Return of the Jedi, Game 1 and Game 2. And these were for the Intellivision, actually. Down here with the television, some for the Atari. See this Ultima 2 prototype. Zero Tolerance prototype over here. course, getting more into the handhelds here. You got some Mattel Game & Watches. Really cool boxed Donkey Kong right there. Of course, this is the original ball Game & Watch, not a reproduction that Nintendo has put out recently. Of course, the elusive two of the most expensive and rare games here. You can see right there. Stadium Events and the Nintendo World Championship 1990 cart. And especially this one right here, the Star Fox Super Weekend card, goes for pretty pricey these days on the internet. And of course here, some unlicensed adult games. Hubba Hubba. And it's the Punch Out Gold 1997 card. Yes, and that's right, people, Earthbound. Complete with the manual and everything else you can think of that's in there. We're going to go to some more artwork over here. And actually, I do remember from the Q-Bar cartoons, these are some of the cells, actually. Of course, over here, you got some really, really, really rare Apple II, Commodore 64, and Atari games. And of course, over here, funny enough, I actually donated this just recently to the museum. You know, it is actually a part of computer history, so, you know, why not bring it to the museum? Of course, speaking of more computer games, you see here, we got Zork, Zork 2, Zork 3, Station Fall, Moon Mist, Trinity. And this is pretty freaky. You have this like looking at you while you're trying to go to sleep. Of course, over here too, you got the artwork for Atlantis and Popeye. And I can't really say when I was a kid I actually did even mess with the Commodore PET, but of course seen it but never really used one of them. Of course, this is the Laserdisc system they would use for, you see right here, it's the Sayer's Quest. And of course over here, I do remember this when I was a kid, people, and that is the Apple II computers. But this is more near and dear to my heart, the Activision patches. And of course, if you had to get one of these patches, you had to basically, go for the high score, take a picture of it with your Polaroid camera, and you send it in, and you pretty much got one of these. And I always wanted to get one of these. I always wanted to get the Bucket Brigade patches. I mean, see, even back then, Activision, had the thought to actually, reward their customers, trying to do better and try to win, get free stuff by, just trying to beat the game. And of course, before the crash, there was all the swag that they had back then. Because of course, before the crash, everybody just wanted to get their hand on anything video game related, because it was, a very niche and very cool thing back then. And even Atari did, costumes back then too. Just to show you some of the swag. There's an Activision plug and play right there, Dragon Slayer box. This is really cool right here. I don't know if you really touch it, but you can see right there. And even a Battlezone, model kit right there. But showing you, like I said, some of the swag over here. You can see right there. Touch pen set and the Defender, which is also known as Stargate. And some of the buttons too were actually, a little kind of kitschy. Go figure. Someone had to put that one. Yep, and over here you got some more prototype games. See, even one here for Joust. Soap Suds, which of course, being a prototype I never heard of. So everybody, we're just about to wind down to the tour, but I just wanted to show you the best part of this museum that you see right here. You can see, this is a little Mattel soccer score display, but this is really cool because once you turn it on, turn it on. Well, trust me, it was on at one point. You could actually play it here, but you could see the display over here too. So that's very, very, very cool. Of course, over here you got two Mattel little handhelds. It's actually really cool. This is, you know, Auto Race and Space Alert. Of course, continue with the head-to-head series. You see right there, because of course you could do, you know, basketball, football, baseball, soccer, and hockey. Star Wars electronic game, do not touch. But of course you can see here, people, now we're just going over more to the tabletops, and these are all the boxed versions of Galaxian, Puck Monster, which is Pac-Man, Super Puck Monster, Q*bert, Zaxxon, Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man, Donkey Kong Jr. I mean, there's so much here, people. It's like, it's mind-boggling. Of course, I even have this one at home. I would love to have this in the box. It's Space Invaders, Frogger. They even got a Stewie electronic talking pinball game. And of course, this is a very, very scarce tabletop to find. That is Crazy Climber by Bandai. And Bandai themselves really did put out some great tabletops back in the day. So you got one for Tutankhamun, Pango, and you see, of course, here you got Burger Time and Dracula, and down there you got Zackman. So there's like a lot of unique handhelds for sure. Of course, here you have Zap, which is done by Coleco. See here, not only is it looks like a transformable robot, but it's also a video game that you see right there. Org Eater, you know, pretty much it's Pac-Man. 4-way directional joystick. You got a little power fishing game right there. Yeah, like I said, Japanese honestly had some very, very underrated handhelds and tabletops. It's got Moon Alien Block and Galaxian down there at the left-hand corner. And of course here, people, the cream of the collection, if I would love to have this, and that is the Adventure Vision. And this is very, very, very scarce and rare. Of course, you can see there is the Defender cart right there. Of course, you know, because the few games that it did have by Entex was Space Force. Let's just show you really quick. It's basically what it was like. Of course, here you got Super Cobra and Turtles. And of course, this is a very innovative one here. You know, select the game. So basically, you just put the cart in, as you see right there. You just played what you want. Of course, the games here they had here were Pac-Man, baseball, football, pinball, and basketball. And of course, continuing Entex. Of course, there's the LSI version of Defender, Stargate, which is Defender, Spiders, and Crazy Climber. Of course, this is the Turtles tabletop version right there, an Alien Invader. Of course, these two I love to have, Super Cobra and a Defender. You get to continue with Entex. You see this Astro Vader, Galaxian 2. Of course, here you got all like array of Mattel, you know, handheld games. Of course, here Mattel, you know, you see here, I believe this was my Mattel. You can see right there you have Armor Attack, Speed Freak, Ultra Dome, Locomotion, which I believe was Japanese, and this is Dungeons and Dragons. Oh, I remember these, people, because I actually remember I do have this one right here. These handhelds, Masters of the Universe and 2 versions of Burger Time. And of course here you have a Horse Race Analyzer, Computer Chess, and CGE not only did the Vectrons, but they also did the watches as well. And I do remember my cousin back in the day actually having this specific one right here. Of course, a very, very scarce Atari tabletop, if you want to call it that. And that is the Cosmos, as you can see right there. And of course, over here, ladies and gentlemen, you got some Microvision goodness. You can see pretty much these are all the games as you see right here. Mindbuster, Pinball, C-Dual, Connect 4. Got some more tabletop action. They got football, basketball, and even one Safari right there. We're getting into some of the LCD watches right here. Of course, you have Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan, and Super Mario Bros. 3, Q*bert, Frogger, and even Simon actually had a watch version, as you can see right there. Of course, you have two versions of Pac-Man and some of the Tiger handhelds, as you can see right there. And Merlin, which is definitely a throwback from the 70s. There's some cool little electronic pinball games. You got a Wildfire. As we keep going with the pinball theme here, people got Pinball Spiel. Oh, I guess I was German. I'm sorry. This is pinball, but two versions, same two different languages, same version. Just keep on walking through, and I'm just in amazement of all what the Video Game Museum here does have. And this actually is really unique here, people. I actually have two of these, two different games, the mini vids. And you see here the Space War, Dodge City Gunfight, Sea Battle, and Break Free. Of course, here you got Twin Invader, so by Actronics, and of course down there, people, is really nice. Popeye tabletop from Nintendo. Of course, over here, people, you're wondering what this is. The computer beam gun, you can see right there. Of course, Tomy, always was innovative with their games. You can see there's Astro Blaster, which is by Handhelds, but it actually is Scramble. And over there, you got Tron and Alien Chase, which is a double-face screen that was made by Tandy. Of course, there you can see there's Rambler and Lupin, which is very, very freaking scarce, and I would love to get this in my collection. Of course, here you have some Pac-Man goodness. Of course, you see there, Crazy Kong, made by Grandstand, Mini Munchman, which is Pac-Man. Of course, speaking of Pac-Man, of course, you got different versions from all over the world, in Japan, England. And of course another Japanese one, but this is the USA version, if I'm not mistaken. Of course, down there you can see Japanese Scramble and Caveman by Tandy. And Grandstand's Firefox X7, which is also Astro Thunder, if I'm not mistaken. And this is unique here to people. I think remember these when I was a kid. These triple arcade little handhelds. Yeah, these LSI guys are really cool too. See the flip versions. Because I believe there's one for, so you can see right there, there's Dig Dug, Jungler, Amadar, and there's actually 3 versions of those right there. And of course, something more really obscure little handhelds by Tiger. And actually, surprisingly, Tiger, this is like way back in the day actually. So don't expect, when they came out in the 80s with these, this came out, in the early 80s. Of course, some more LCD goodness right over there. And you know what, people? I gotta say, for CGE 2014, it was really cool. I'm really glad to take a part of this, and thank you so much, everybody, for taking part in the tour. If you have any questions or comments, as always, feel free to leave them down at the bottom, and you can always check me out on Facebook, Twitter, and DailyMotion. And that's about it. Thank you, everybody, so much for watching, and take care. Cheers.